The 2030 World Cup will be played on 3 continents. Morocco, Portugal and Spain joint bid is the sole candidate to host FIFA World Cup 2030 TM. Centenary celebration and celebratory games to take place in Uruguay, Argentina and Paraguay. UK and Ireland set to be confirmed as Euro 2028 hosts. Ex-crypto CEO SBF risks 150 years prison term as fraud trial begins. Kevin O'Leary was paid $15.7 million for 20 service hours, 20 social posts and 50 autographs to promote FTX.
The Last of Us star Ashley Johnson, 6 others, sue her ex-critical roles Brian Foster for abuse. Julia Ormond sues Harvey Weinstein for battery, CAA and Disney as enablers of sexual assault. 5 former Ubisoft execs arrested following sexual harassment investigation. Graham Linehan dropped by his agent after attacking Doctor Who star David Tennant. Recently, Graham Linehan attacks cancel culture at conservative conference fringe event. 5 female anthropologists banned from a conference for transphobia, as the Anthropological Associations of Canada and the USA cancel a panel on biological sex because it would harm the LGBT community. Mauritius Supreme Court rules law targeting LGBT people is unconstitutional. President Biden announces an additional $9 billion in students' debt relief for 125,000 Americans. Dutch politician who worked for Shell poised to become EU climate chief. EU's nominated climate lead wants a global tax on jet fuel. Russia says it will oppose plan to phase out fossil fuels. World's first carbon border tariff is launched in Europe, a tool to put a fair price on the carbon emitted during the production of carbon-intensive goods that are entering the EU, and to encourage cleaner industrial production in non-EU countries. Kidneys communicating with each other, recorded for first time by Curtin University researchers. UAE to ban single-use plastic shopping bags starting in 2024. QAnon Queen supporters allegedly threaten Saskatoon village leaders with executions. In Germany, nearly half of AfD supporters would prefer to live in another country. Czech Republic and Poland tighten control on border with Slovakia, due to flow of migrants.
Japan to buy Tomahawk cruise missiles from U.S. in FY 2025, 1 year sooner than planned. The U.S. government transferred to Ukraine approximately 1.1 million 7.62 mm rounds of ammunition that CENTCOM forces had seized from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Croatia took delivery of the first of 12 Rafale fighters, purchased secondhand from France. Pro-China, President-elect of Maldives vows to kick out Indian military. Kremlin official openly calls for return of Baltic states using Russian weapons. Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas says Israel's independence is a sham. U.S. occupying Palestine. Iran official admits country's role in 1983 Beirut, Lebanon terror attack that killed 241 U.S. military members. Peruvian man arrested for making more than 150 bomb threats to U.S. schools. More than 1 million in Korea were treated for depression in 2022. Mental health disorders in young Australians surged by 53% over 15 years, new data shows. In Japan, only 10% of young men with low incomes get married. Record high truancy, bullying at Japan schools per government survey.
Japan's property sector sees golden period as foreign investments surge 45%. In Canada, Richmond University offers Mandarin-only master's program to people in China. Portugal to scrap unjust tax breaks for foreign residents. Starbucks is selling NFTs of pumpkin spice latte. Tottenham Hotspur to issue Spurs fan token on Shillas. In Ireland, Paddy Power to close 21 bookie shops nationwide. Former director from BlackRock says SEC will approve a Bitcoin ETF in 3 to 6 months. Chase Bank adds SHIB, XRP among others for mortgage payments. Hong Kong Stock Exchange launches settlement platform, powered by smart contracts. France moves to ban far-right Catholic Party Civitas for anti-Semitism. Wealthy GOP donor bankrolled cyber ninjas' effort to get voting data, a whistleblower says. Rideau apologizes for honoring Nazi veteran with Order of Canada in 1987. University of Alberta reviewing donations honoring names of Nazi SS veterans. Trump gets removed Forbes 400 list of richest Americans. Donald Trump's properties will likely be auctioned off, attorney says. GOP lawmakers float Trump for House Speaker after McCarthy's ousting. Smoking age should rise from 18 by 1 year every year, in Rishi Sunak plan for the UK to create smoke-free generation. High dietary phosphorus is associated with increased breast cancer risk in a U.S. cohort study of middle-aged women.
Los Angeles is using AI to predict who might become homeless and help before they do. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says, our children will probably only work 3.5 days a week thanks to AI. IBM foresees no layoffs due to AI. Company will hire more workers than it lets go. X drops headlines from articles as new report details its bleeding ad revenue. BBC gives up on Threads by Instagram, sticks with Mastodon.
Research shows strong link between ADHD and car crashes in older adult drivers. No significant annual change in the prevalence of ADHD was found from 2017 to 2022.
People with autistic traits tend to have higher intolerance of uncertainty, leading to dichotomous thinking. Repeated low doses of psilocybin increase resilience to stress, lower compulsive actions, and strengthen cortical connections to the paraventricular thalamic nucleus in rats.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, a main story length, around 50 hours. Completionists will spend up to 100 hours. Epic Games Store boss Sergey Galayankin leaves, says Epic 5.0 is not a good fit for him.
Intel to spin out programmable chip unit and hold IPO, its shares rise 2%. Kirin 9000S was made on older 14 nanometers process, says research firm executive. SMIC employed techniques to make it perform closer to A7 nanometers part. FDA approves first treatment for fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva. Chinese miracle water grifters infiltrated UN, bribed politicians to build Pacific Dream City. August job openings top 9.6 million, more than expected, as labor market remains strong. U.S. firms added 89,000 jobs, fewest since early 2021 in ADP data. Key indicators show China's economic recovery is gathering speed. Spain's services sector resumes growth in September.
Google is launching a generative AI-enhanced version of Google Assistant. Meta starts rolling out generative AI tools for all advertisers. Loki Season 2 poster appears to use AI-generated images.
China's solar export dominance grows, with surging European orders 64% up in 2022, despite global trade tensions. In Germany, federal government reactivates reserve of coal-fired power plants in 2023. Michael Bloomberg pumps $500 million into bid to close all U.S. coal plants.
Construction of China's ultra-high voltage transmission line begins. China's shipping giant gets foothold in South America with a new multipurpose port in Peru, and the gateway from South America to Asia, official says. China's second longest canal opens for trial operation. Manual-only 2024 Subaru WRX-TR leaked, with massive ST-style wing. Aston Martin wants to keep the manual gearbox alive. Chipotle testing a robot to speed up digital orders for bowls and salads. DIY tinkerer invents MacBook tool that breaks Apple's repair locks. Lasers deflected using air. Samsung Electronics announced the Galaxy Smart Tag 2, launching globally on October 11th. Galaxy Smart Tag 2's brand new Lost Mode 2 allows users to input their contact information via a message.
Detroit releases Artem Anisimov from professional tryout. San Jose Sharks signed forward Quentin Musty to a 3-year entry-level contract. Lexi Thompson, set to be 5th woman to play PGA Tour event at Shriners Children's Open. Spotify has added free audiobooks for premium subscribers. Michelle Houellebecq Annihilation Annihilation is English version delayed more than 2 years.
NASA's Apollo 16 mission item hits auction market, expected to go for nearly $750,000. Prada is working with Axiom Space on space stunts for NASA. Chinese astronomers say their new space telescope will outdo Hubble. Asteroid Bennu now has a greater chance of hitting Earth through 2300, but still slim.
Bringing Mars samples to Earth could cost an extra $1 billion, but NASA should totally do it, experts say. NASA plans to build homes for humans on the moon by 2040. Japan allocated $80 million to Astroscale Japan for research and removal of space debris. Nintendo will take 3Ds and Wii U services offline in early April 2024. Paramount Plus cancels iCarly reboot after 3 seasons.
Malaysia's PM Anwar says subsidies expected to surpass RM81B in 2023. Bercy, French Ministry of Economy and Finance, claims more than €720 million from Coca-Cola. In India, Domino's cuts rates of large pizzas by 50% to compete with smaller rivals.
Rishi Sunak reported to police over Nicola Sturgeon prison joke in Tory conference speech. In Brazil, judge decides that strong smell of marijuana in a person does not allow search for home. Climate disruptions are especially dangerous for the opioid epidemic.
Mongi Buandi, Louis Ibras and Alexei Yakimov are awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry 2023 for the discovery and development of quantum dots. These tiny particles have unique properties, and now spread their light from television screens and LED lamps. They catalyze chemical reactions and their clear light can illuminate tumor tissue for a surgeon. Azerbaijan is ready for EU-mediated talks with Armenia in Brussels, Recently citing Turkey's absence, Azerbaijan skipped EU-sponsored talks with Armenia and Spain over France military aid. Armenians threaten violence against Jews over Azeri relations.
In Kenya, Araji Girls High School closed over outbreak of unknown disease, 95 students hospitalized. In Canada, minor hockey players required to wear bottom layer to dressing room or change in washroom.